What is going on? Kyle's still somewhere else. One day we'll both be back in our offices at the same time. September 18th, it's Tuesday. We're talking about Ram, we're talking about Tesla, and we're talking about Home Depot? Of course, Home Depot.
The people really want
Yeah,
to
we
know
are.
who I is and who I be. They stop and stare when they see me.
Talking about Home
No
Depot.
need to repeat.
Home Depot. Where are you at today? You at a coffee shop?
I
It
am
looks
at
like-
a coffee shop.
I bet
like,
it's a good one.
no, it's like the Denny's of Toronto.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, okay.
I mean, the Denny's of Toronto still seems like better than the Denny's of, like New York.
It is. It's pretty decent. It'll work. It'll work.
It's the Denny's of Toronto. By the way, when we were at the Wilgadera event on Monday, there were how many? There were no less than 6 amazing coffee shops represented with a full espresso setup. And Kyle was in his heyday, and I've never drank so much espresso in my life.
Oh,
But it was amazing.
it was stellar.
And we might bring some of that magic to ASOTU CON, I think.
We have to bring that magic. I've already got like contact information for 3 or 4 people. So let's go.
Yeah, he was going around collecting cards, so you're going to probably get a little bit. If you didn't know, ASOTU CON is in May, but we have a pre-sign up list going right now. No commitment. It's just so you will be the first to know. It's in May, the week after Mother's Day. Circle your calendar, 13th through the 15th, that week-ish. Circle the week, block it off, make sure you're going to be there. Go to ASOTUCon.com, sign up on the pre-sign up list so that you'll be the first to know as soon as we start dropping the little tidbits and drips in it. It's about to start, actually. It's getting pretty close.
It's going to get real soon. So.
All right. We got to get into some news. We're both hustling somewhere today. I'm going to speak to a bunch of GMs. You're going to go back and do your thing you're not that far from me right now.
No, I'm
Actually,
not.
I'm saying we're at easy driving distance. Actually, I don't know why we didn't think of this. You're like 2.5 hours away. I'll meet you up with Matt Lasher in Buffalo. It's easy.
Oh, that would be so good.
Should we go back to the wing place? But let's talk a little about little news. Ram is preparing to make a strong entrance into the EV market with the 1500 REV set to arrive early 2025, followed by the range extended 1500 Ramcharger. Ram is looking to blend this innovation and practicality. Basically, the first EV pickup, the REV, is offering a standard 168 kilowatt battery with up to 350 miles of range and an optional battery pack, which would put the truck around 500 miles of range. That's pretty dope. The 1500 set for 2025. It's got a this is the Ramcharger, the one with the engine and the generator. It's got a 3.6 liter V6 looking at 663 horsepower. That's some power.
Good.
And 615 foot-pounds of torque, towing capacity, 14,000 pounds. You can tow a big, heavy thing. And they're looking, this future heavy-duty pickup market combined with EVs. Like they're doing this whole thing. Bob Broderdorf, former Ram Global Operations Officer, now Jeep North America head, said, quote, "Everyone can throw down a big range, etc. Okay, do it with towing and payload." That's what we're trying to drive home. So they're really going after that like heavy-duty commercial. You have a truck because you need a truck group of people.
Yeah, I think this is a shot across the bow for GM saying, hey, look, we're doing something different in the EV market, which is what I think is necessary from like a valuation perspective. It's necessary from a consumer, just understanding of your brand, what you're after. And so I think, coming in and saying, yeah, we're still a truck company and we're going to make EVs like we're a truck company.
It's a sharp looking truck. If you haven't seen it, I love the fact that it definitely has the distinction of being an EV. That's one of the things I didn't really like about the F-150 Lightning. It just looked like an F-150 with a different front end. So
right.
Yeah, I think they've done a good job, and I'm excited. To see what Ram brings to the market. Then we'll have the big 3 back in the game with the EVs. So.
Back in the game.
Good. Go. Speaking of back in the game,
segue.
Here comes some discount game. We talked a little bit about affordability yesterday, but known for their end of quarter discounts, Tesla has rolled out a significant financing incentive to try to get the sales up at the end of the quarter. Basically now offering 0 down payment and a 2.49 APR in Model 3s and Model Ys, with rates dropping to 1.99 with just a small down payment, basically running through September 30th, obviously coinciding with end of month sales. They've reintroduced a referral program, $1,000 if you refer somebody to buy a new vehicle. So now every Tesla vehicle has an incentive attached to it, except for the Cybertruck. And the analysts obviously saying it's going to boost the sales, but it's also answering a big problem in the market, like we talked about yesterday, which is affordability.
Yeah. Well, and I think, this is what's blowing my mind. These are available at 72 months. right? They're literally pulling the OEM card that the OEMs are not willing to pull at this point, which is, hey, look, we have financing incentives and they are deep and they are recognizable.
Get those payments low, right?
And even if what's weird is even if the payments aren't low, it's like you get to go tell your friends you got a low interest rate and a cool car, right?
I never thought about that. The brag power on the low interest rate is real. Like I got 1.99.
That's exactly right. Yep. Yeah. How many people, like when everybody was remortgaging, were like, I just remortgaged and got a 2.75% interest rate, like it's just a thing.
Right. So, I still brag about the 2.25 that I got today. So,
right.
Of course, because now it's a thing. I literally have my mortgage company send me a paper statement, and maybe I don't know, think what you will about the paper versus e-statements. I just like looking at it every month.
And just knowing.
Literally, I open it every month and I look at the interest rate number and I look at the majority of my, like the big chunk of my payment that went towards principal, and I just feel great about it.
You're like, I'm making more on my savings account than what I'm spending.
So now I should borrow home equity, put it into high yields. Well, I can't get home equity now. Too late. Should have did it back then.
It's so silly.
Probably, yeah, there's a thing about that. Speaking of, it's not so silly, but speaking of building home, I don't know. There's no segue there. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let you go. Home Depot. Right. Let's do it.
Home Depot is settling a lawsuit for almost $2 million after being accused of overcharging customers due to scanner violations in California, where advertised shelf prices were not the same when scanned at the register. The retailer denies wrongdoing, but negotiated a settlement of $1.7 million in fines and a little over $200,000 in restitutions. Home Depot must implement a price accuracy program to ensure shelf prices match those at the register, with a ban on increasing prices during weekends. They're also going to provide a bunch of employee training and internal audits. District Attorney George Kaskin said, when companies engage in deceptive practices, they not only cheat consumers, but also gain an unjust advantage over businesses that operate ethically and transparently. I feel like you got something to say about this month.
Oh, I mean, this is the kind of thing where when we look at other industries, like it's easy to look internally and say people are always against the auto industry. They're always looking for someone to scam them. But this is a retail movement across the board. And we see with Home Depot people saying like, it's not okay. And organizations looking at this closely. And I'm sure a lot of these prices weren't if it's Home Depot, think of the amount of transactions they have a day. And then think of this total amount of like $1.7 million. Like it's actually not that much. For Home Depot, it's not a lot. So, but we're talking about probably like maybe not even dollars in difference in the scanned price and what they saw on the shelf. And so there's just a heightened level of attention on this type of practice, which should make us dealers, auto industry, on even higher alert, right? Because if Home Depot is getting this level of scrutiny for that little bit of difference, why would we think we're any different?
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, heads up, like the consumer is after the retailer to make sure that the retailer is following the best practices for the consumer. And so just get on the front side of that and everything that you can do.
Yeah. And the other side of that is like, it never hurts to have a great brand because people want you to win, right? That's the bottom line. Like to love people more than you love cars. When people know you're for them, they're much less likely to turn the screws over pennies or dollars or tens of dollars. So whatever it is you're doing out there today, we're around the midpoint of the month. Care about the people, care about the cars, care about what you're doing, care about somebody else, and it will come back.